Navianda, and I'm a student of law, first year. There is no one funding this strike. If I'm to reflect on one of the sayings of Nelson Mandela, he says, education is the only way we can make this world a better place to live in. We have witnessed our friends falling out of the course. We have witnessed our very own we've studied with from high school and other places not affording this education. And I never know, maybe if this policy goes on, I don't know what the future holds for me. Maybe in my second year I'll have to sign a dead year because of this policy. So we as students look at this as an unfair policy. Why, if Uganda is free to everyone, why doesn't education be affordable and have free access to everyone? First of all, we want the policy to be immediately halted before we initiate any negotiations. Because actually what is going on, I've heard around news today on different media houses, media platforms, it has been reported that actually there has been no tuition increment. The truth is the people above us, that second year, paid another figure, and we are paying another figure. That's 2.5, they are paying around 2.2. When you go into analysis of this policy that was passed last year, it goes cumulatively for 5 consecutive years. 5 consecutive years. A person to come into my course will have to pay something like 3 million shillings. 3 million shillings, whereby we think this is actually unfair to Ugandans, because as I speak in my class, over 15 people have gone out of the course because they can't afford it. They can't afford it. Then secondly, we want the 2 university officials that actually allegedly ordered for military to storm our rooms as students, and they destroyed our properties, to apologize to us, and if possible they should compensate us, because ideally I do not think our television sets, our offer sets and other things they destroyed had anything to do with the strikes. Third of all, we need the reinstatement of the 15 girls that were taking up their constitutional right as stipulated in Article 29 of the Constitutional Republic of Uganda. And if it is a crime, then I do not know. The judiciary, together with the Uganda Law Society, should actually inform us Ugandans that taking up your right to peacefully demonstrate with placards is a crime today. Then lastly, before any negotiations, we want military police out of the university. Maybe to give you a background of this policy, after the strikes in 2017, a 7 members ad hoc committee was constituted, which was headed by Bandola Poli as the chairperson, viced by Marion. So the guild president and this committee decided for us, yet the constitution provides for consultation to students if there is any public interested policy to be passed. Therefore, if this article wasn't honored, why shouldn't I stand up and demand for my right, since I'm limited to quality education?
So is your meeting going to take place or not with the management?
The meeting to take place, I should say, was to take place. Though right now I'm uncertain of what is going on, but our conditions should be honored. And besides that, we would love to hear from the responsible bodies, the government, the president, and other relevant authorities. Please come and intervene into this matter. I ideally think that negotiations between us and the management, which has manipulated its power to suspend us, might actually yield no results at all. But if an independent organ came into this to intervene into the matter, I think there would be a way forward. You know, as a father, I cannot turn against my house or my decision, even if my children went against it. So what do you expect them to say as management? They must defend their image out there. But the truth is, my guild president, His Excellency Katerega Julius, did serve them with their conditions. I am well acquainted with this.
Then 18 to 19 up to right now, and it is cumulative. This thing applies in such a way that you apply in the university, and after applying and you are admitted, then when you are receiving your admission letter is when you bump into a fee structure. It is not published before we apply. Had it been that they publish it before we apply, students wouldn't be applying here. They would be going to other universities. So they publish it after us applying, and we are admitted. So you come and you bump into a fee structure with shock, and you have nothing to do. You go back, apart from paying, you have to plead with your parent or yourself. If you're working, you have to plead with yourself and pay that money. So had it been that they should put this in vouchers such that they publish it before, and then when someone is applying for a course in Makerere, he knows he's applying for a course and he's going to pay this amount of money. Because this is cumulative, it is going to affect our brothers, our sisters, and our siblings behind us. We should, for us as students, we condemn this, because if by 5 years' time from now we are going to be paying 5 million and above, then really the economy of Uganda, we can also understand the economy of Uganda, where it is going. Like, you cannot get that money. Most of the students here actually are from a very poor background. This is a public university. Had it been, this is a brand actually. Had it been a private university, you would be like forego it and go to another university. But this is being a brand. This is Makerere University. Actually, out there, people don't know Uganda. They know Makerere University. We should fight for this, man. You parents should also join us, the other people there, alumni, whatsoever. Let us join hands and fight for this. It is important because it is going to affect the nation, not actually me who is talking, but the whole nation. Even next year, they are going to increase the one we are paying right now with 15%. So it is cumulative. That is why we are stopping the cumulative shit. Let it stop there. We have paid enough. Like, we can afford to pay this one that is there current. We shouldn't allow it to increase. Besides that, we are not fine. You can talk about politics, because everyone is talking about politics. Some are even saying it is the opposition that is fueling the strike that is in Makerere. It is not true. We are just coming out as students, as our rights. It is our rights, our parents. Not that we are the ones paying, but even our parents who are down there, we know where they get it from. And even some of them have their children, but they take them or get for them, actually, the sponsorship from different organizations or from very many scholarships. So had it been that they are also paying this, they would also feel the pain, man. I'm sure most of the administrators here also are feeling the same pain, but they just can't come out to strike or say it out. But it is a pain, we are feeling it. For politics, I am not on that. Like, we are not politicians. Fine, there's politics within the university, but this is away from politics. It is far away from politics. It is just students. It's a common cause. It's a noble cause.
But I agree that there might be an issue which must be discussed freely. The students should be allowed to have meaningful debate on this. But what I'm disagreeing with is that people, more especially opposition, and then of course those of government, even police can have interests in this strike. Any person can have interests in this strike. That's why it has gained too much momentum. Because this strike it is not a very, very big issue. I know the policy might be very inimical to students, but it would not be such a big strike that you see military police. I listened to BBC. When I listened to BBC, I heard that Makerere female students lead strike against 15% increment. Now, what came into my mind was that really, I get there's a feminism point of view. There are people who are, the organizations which are also, they may be interested in funding this strike to continue. So fundamental issues within Makerere must be solved within Makerere and by Makerere, including the government itself. I don't say that students shouldn't strike. They shouldn't show their protest. But I'm saying that students should really be skeptical of the factors in the country, political interests, feminist interests. Because when you look at a student who was leading, the vice president, I had not gotten in the occasion to know her. But I was told that she's on MasterCard. And MasterCard has had interests. I remember I've been here, and MasterCard has had interests in promoting its students, that is sponsors. They brought Kiruba, he contested, he lost. And I don't know which interest they have in doing that.
Actually, I apprehend it and I uphold it because this is the only way which it seems the university management and the state at large can hear our voices, can listen to our voices, because we have tried to engage peaceful dialogue, but peaceful dialogue has failed totally. The Girdi president and his cabinet, they have admitted that they have failed in that one. So taking up a demonstration, although it does not satisfactorily do the needful, is among the other methods employed by the students' body to forward our views, to forward our ailments to the state itself and to the university management. When you look at tuition increment at a rate of 15%, we personally, actually the students that are involved have no say in it, because now if tuition is halted, for us it shall not affect us in any way. But we are looking at the future generation. We are looking at the people who are coming to Makerere University to attain the quality education, say that this university, tuition increment does not match with income increment. It does not match with the rate of inflation. It does not match with the rate of growth of GDP growth. Therefore, our view here is that the government should come out, prioritize education by funding more the education sector and funding more Makerere University, and reduce the burden of students and parents, which has seen many be denied the chance to come to this university. The effects, we have already seen the effects of this tuition increment policy, because one, when you look at the number of the admitted students, this year it has generally reduced. Last intake alone, we had a dropout of 177 students who could not finish their courses because the tuition later became too high for them to manage.